What's going on, guys? Coach Steven with 15 Points of Tennis. And today we'll be talking about the wall, how to use it effectively. Look, if you don't have hitting partners lined up to wazoo, right? If you don't have thousands of dollars to spend on coaches and clinics and all that type of stuff, look, this is completely free. It's a wonderful, wonderful asset, especially when you're developing your tennis game, okay? And we're gonna show you 3 drills today that are actually better on the wall than on the court, right? That can improve your strength, your hitting, your coordination, all those great things. Now, before we go into it, before you click away from this video, let me ask you this. Look, are your strokes absolutely perfect, like where you want them to be? And if not, look, come to the wall and practice your strokes. Like if I put a piece of tape right there, like an X, and say, hit that X, hit it with consistency, hit it with accuracy, okay, replicate it again and again, and hit it with power, and you can't do that here on a wall, there's no way you're gonna be able to do that in a match. Okay, so before we get into the couple drills I can't wait to show you, right, we're gonna talk about really a few reasons and a few practical reasons the wall might be useful. One is if you need a quick warm-up before a match. You know, a lot of times, at least me, getting to a tournament, you have to set up a warm-up, have a warm-up buddy, right, who's playing at the same time in the same draw. You know, if you're like a club player, it might be easy. You have to have an available court, which isn't always the case. Come to the wall and get some reps in, okay? Because you got to get your body moving to warm up. You've got to feel the ball. And that's my second point, really, is you need more reps. Like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger, when he talks about lifting the weight every day, reps and sets, reps and sets. You can't build big muscles without lifting thousands of weights. A lot of times in tennis, and what's funny is a lot of my students, one of their biggest sticking points in their game is just they're not getting enough reps, okay? And again, you need to boost your strength, boost your coordination, because you just need to hit the ball more times. You know, a lot of times, look, if you've been following my channel, you know the technique. You just need more practice, like Arnold Schwarzenegger, right? Reps and sets. And you know what's funny is, you know, one of the biggest indicators of someone who started playing tennis when they were really young, well, one is they have really good hand-eye coordination and they have good fine motor skills, but they've just been hitting so many balls when they were young and they learned to use their muscles properly. Like, I have a student, for example, who started when he was very young. Actually, in his home, he would hit the sponge ball against the wall, you know, inside the house, and he would just get so much practice and such good fine motor skills. So look, if it's strength you're lacking, bang, you know, put that target up, hit the ball as hard as you can, as hard as you can, as hard as you can, develop your strength, or, you know, or get in the gym. Or, you know, if it's coordination, learn to feel the ball and again, use your smaller fine motor skills. And look, you're hitting it against the wall, getting massive reps. This wall right here never gets tired, okay? Great for endurance. And look, one of the beauties about the wall, and this is my last point I'll make before we roll into the drills, is that because the wall is boring, and look, I wouldn't say anyone loves hitting against the wall, but let me tell you how to use boring to your advantage. All right, because it's so boring, look, you're not focused on, your focus isn't on, oh, the point is so dynamic, and oh, am I worried about winning the point or losing the point, moving my opponent around, who am I playing, what are their strengths and weaknesses? Those are good questions for a different point in time. When you're out here, it's you, the ball, and the wall. It's really just you, okay? You're the only one in the spotlight, and you can hit ball after ball and just be focused on the sweet spot. Be focused on you get the pronation, your contact point perfect, keeping your head still, your core engaged, and you can hit until you really achieve perfection here and really give yourself a chance to replicate it out there in the match, okay? But because it's boring and you're not distracted by other stuff, you can really focus on the core fundamentals. And look, if you've never hit on the wall, I suggest you give it a try at least a handful of times before you criticize, oh, it's just some guy who doesn't have a hitting partner, who's, you know, some old guy, or me, because I'm out here hitting against the wall every now and then, hitting against the wall. Okay, so that isolation, that is actually a good thing. Now, drill number 1 we're going to get into, okay, is the recoil drill. Or it's not a recoil, but look, you know, ever see a speed bag in boxing with like boom, 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 and it keeps bouncing back? So the boxers do that for quickness and for timing. And the same thing we're gonna show you. I'm gonna hit and recoil, and it makes you hit and get ready, hit and get ready. And if you don't understand this concept, I talk about this deep in the online accelerator program. You're practicing your firing muscles and your counterbalancing muscles. Okay, so it takes a lot of strength to hit and recoil and get that contact point perfect. You can do this on ground strokes, again, if you stand closer to the wall, or you can do it, on volleys, boom, 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 and we're gonna show you that in a sec. So if you're doing this right, it takes a lot of muscle, okay? Whether it's on the volley, like on the volleys, my forearm is aching. Granted, this isn't even my racket. I was borrowing a racket for this. All right, if you're doing it on the ground strokes, yeah, not only do you have to hit, balance, and recover, but it takes a lot of muscle to hit and recoil and to load, with that type of rapid succession. So that was a great workout. Second drill we're going to do is the overhead drill, okay? Now, the overhead drill, you get both serving practice and you get footwork, right? Serving practice, strength, a lot of shoulder strength. This is going to be great for your shoulder strength forearm. And then also spacing, judging, spacing, okay, and tracking and getting your feet in the right position. It's going to work that also. So for all you players who have unreliable overhead, who aren't putting overheads away with consistency, look guys, this is for you. Now, look, I want you to start off easy with this, okay? So just so you don't blow out your shoulder, to work yourself into a groove and then go from there. Now, look, if you're unable to get your feet in position with consistency, what does that say about your footwork really? I mean, if you can't snap down consistently to snap the ball, I mean, what does that say about your service motion? So, look, you got to be able to learn how to do this. You're going to appreciate it. Your doubles partner is going to appreciate it. Your win-loss record will for sure appreciate it. This is one of the best ones to practice on the wall. Now, the last one we're going to go into is really setting a goal for yourself. So, like a lot of times, let's say you're just rallying with a buddy, right? You're hitting the ball back and forth. Look, you could be working on your rhythm or your breathing, which is great. But at the end of the day, look, it comes down to tangible results. You play a match and there's all different styles you play against. You're feeling good some days, you're feeling bad some days, you're winning some days, you're losing some days. There's so much craziness that happens on the court. But let's say, this is day one and you can make 10 balls in between those two lines inside that box, right? And 6 months from now, if today's day one, 6 months from now, you can make 20 balls. Well, by those metrics, by setting a clear goal, you've objectively gotten better despite all the craziness that might happen in your matches. Again, you have to give yourself measurable goals so that you can measure your progress. Because objectively, as a tennis player, if you can only hit 10 on day one, but on day 180, 6 months later, you can hit 20, that gives yourself a good goal and gives yourself more focus, right? That's why I love to put little X's up. As coaches, we love to put targets up. So every time you hit, it's like, I'm just hitting against the wall. Instead of mindless hitting, now you're giving yourself a target. Oh, shoot, I missed by 2 feet. I missed by 3 feet. Okay, that's a great thing to do is give yourself a clear goal. And guys, the beauty about these types of drills is you can configure it to your skill level. You can scale it up or down, make it easier or harder, or cater it to what you need to work on. Do you need to work on consistency? And for me, it's hitting between those two lines. Or do you need to work on placement and go right for an exact target? Last thing we're going to roll into, look, a little bonus for you guys, the throwing practice. All right, most people can't throw. I can't throw for the longest time. We're going to put an X up there. I'm going to throw like you need to practice your throwing accuracy, feeling the ball in your hand. The serve mimics the throwing motion, okay? Practice your pitching. I have another video where I talk about the 3 serving drills where that's super essential. All right, so get on that, practice that. So whenever I see people start to do these throwing kind of things and they're not accustomed to throwing a lot of balls, yeah, some crazy stuff happens. You will surprise yourself. and I've definitely surprised myself when I've done things like throwing. But look, be an all-around athlete, because why not, right? Because I mean, all human motion is the same in terms of kinetics across different sports. So this is great. You can really get to isolate like what your throwing motion looks like. And sometimes I look at my throwing motion, it's kind of funky, but you know, that's why we're here, right? Next one we're going to do. Okay, you saw the throwing. Next one is the kicking, okay? And the best way to improve your foot coordination is soccer. And we're going to go into this one in a deeper video also, but I had to include it, like drill against the wall, something I love to do when I was learning foot coordination. Foot coordination, what it does, allows you to get in the right position. You see some people with actually very little good footwork patterns, good footwork technique per se, but they can track the ball well, and they're so nimble and coordinated with their feet. They can get their feet in the right position, and they just swing. They don't even have to think about their feet because their feet are so well coordinated. Soccer, and all the pros, you know, Nadal and Murray, go online and see them playing soccer and dribbling with the soccer ball. But boom, to start easy, practice kicking with your feet. So I guarantee you, if you do this, you will whiff at some point. Now don't judge yourself, okay? Be a little bit patient. And look, if this is particularly hard for you, just dribble in place. And if you can do that, then move even closer to the ball. But again, just practice using your feet. All these tiny micro steps. I mean, you have to be so precise with these steps in tennis for your spacing. Imagine if the ball's, you know, just a couple inches too close or a couple inches too far. It affects your shot in a big way. That's why getting coordinated with your feet, big deal. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this was like a one-off, more of a one-off video, but it's absolutely important. Again, if you're not someone who can spend a ton of money on playing, or if you need the extra practice, or if you have a half an hour to kill, or if you just want a different perspective on practice, you know, before you jump into a match. I know a lot of people who just play matches, but they don't build the true discipline, okay? This is going to help you build a lot of the discipline in your game because, well, you have to. It's boring. Your mind has to stay focused and build discipline. And if you can do it here, okay, it's going to translate those good qualities in a match. And also, if you can't execute here, how are you going to execute that same technique in the match, all right? So hit that subscribe button on the bottom right-hand corner. You know, like the video, share. It helps me, helps the channel, helps me, you know, spread more content, create more content, push more great stuff out for you guys. All right, super excited for what's to come. Leave your comments in the section below. If you have drills against the wall that I don't even know, I'd love you to share. Okay, and then we'll just share them with the community, the 15 Points of Tennis community. Thank you guys so much, and peace. See you on the next one.